It's getting upset. George is upset.
Hey, everybody, we're on air. This is a post-game interview with the victorious and mighty Tom Cooke, who overcame some nearly disastrous in-game action to seal up the win and move on to the SSFA Super Bowl, just as I predicted, and face Jacksonville Jay and the Jaguars. So congratulations, Tom. Way to go.
Thanks, Dennis. Boy, that was a tough game. I'm assuming if someone was listening to this, they probably watched or listened to the video of the game. But I knew that it was going to be a tough game for me coming in. I knew it was. That's maybe weird for you to hear. I don't know how much you looked at the two teams before the game, but I looked over the team. First of all, having called all these postseason games, you get to know a lot about these teams. So, from a scouting standpoint, I think that helped. And then so I think even just watching these games, if you're going to play somebody in the playoffs in one of these leagues, and you can watch the game they played the week before. That I don't think anything helps as much as that. All the other stuff helps too, but that's really helpful. But I just knew that. And also my spreadsheets, it's his 4-3 defense with linebackers going 6-6-5. That's very tough to flat pass against because he can flood that 5 with the free safety at any time. Those 6s are awesome. He can pop the middle linebacker out, so you got to kind of play try and hit that empty zone against him. But if you don't, you're going to get shut down. So I want to run against him. He's got the 4s a defensive end, but he's going to pop those 6s up every now and then. He was aggressive bringing the safety up other times. So I felt like in the games I watched, and I felt like what he was going to do to me today was, he's going to double team Kenny Stills a lot and Jordan Reeves to cover by 4s. He likes to move his linebackers around, but not every play. He'll let them stand around sometimes. So he was going to be aggressive in trying to flood zones and get stops. He wasn't going to stand around on defense, And on top of that, he has a pretty strong pass rush, and my pass blocking is a little suspect. And the thing I was really worried about was him free safety blitzing me aggressively because on my math, with his matchups, if he would have been free safety blitzing me, it could have been really bad news for me. Dennis, you just dropped, though. Okay. You there?
No, I'm just moved.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm putting the box score up so everybody can see.
Sure. But, I looked at his stats in the regular season. He only had 29 sacks, and he didn't really free safety blitz in the playoff games. So I was like, all right, he's probably not going to free safety blitz me, but his pass rush is still formidable. And sure enough, he got multiple sacks. I felt like I needed Lynch to go off. I felt like I had to run the ball a lot. And there was a couple of times I tried to run the ball, but, I didn't stick to it maybe as much as I could have. And Lynch didn't really go off. So I was fortunate to get a couple of good drives and get some good field position against him to help me out on the offensive end of the ball. The game was 0-0. Like a quarter and a half or something. I was pretty happy when I got that touchdown to go up 7-0 in the second quarter. On the other side of the ball, I liked my matchup of my defense, just like when I played Ron in the first round. I liked that matchup of my defense against his offense because, number one, he's limited on carries. Arian Foster only has 14 unfatigued carries, and I noticed that all season he really did not run Daniel Thomas, whose card was not that bad. I think if he would have committed to saying, I'm going to use Foster and Thomas and get 28 carries out of those two guys so that if Tom wants to sit there and gets pass, I should be able to get a couple of good drives. That could have been rough for me, but he chose not to do that. He likes to pass the ball a lot, get the must runs with Cam Newton, do some end runs with Cam Newton. And I was worried about Newton's must run ability, maybe sustaining some drives or God forbid he gets that lucky 2 plus 56. But I felt from my math, I think with a good pass defense, if I kind of stood around most of the game, he was going to have a hard time going the length of the field against me, and that's kind of what happened.
He did have that one big 17-yard run to get into field goal range there at the very end.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the must runs really were not that impactful.
No, he only has, I think, 2 to 4 is more than 10 yards on that card, I think. It's not a great must run card for a guy with a reputation because he only averaged 5.3 a carry, where you want to be well over 6 yards a carry for a really good running quarterback. This year for Newton anyway, but and also I was surprised when I looked at my spreadsheets. I've started looking at pass rush a lot more in the last few months, and your battery's running low.
And that happened in the game, and I barely got the end of the game before the battery died. So this is going to be a short posting.
I got you. So he so I probably surprised him because he has very good pass blocking. That on a couple of 3rd and 11s, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 12. I was free safety blitzing and bringing the house, and I got a couple of sacks that way. I sacked him 4 times, and that was helpful. But I think so. I mean, I think he coached a real good game, especially on defense. I think he could have run the ball a little more. I think I could have run the ball a little more. I think he had some really bad luck with untimely penalties, where he had a couple of penalties. He had like a 2nd and 1, like at my. Are you there, Dennis?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
linked you the replay, the YouTube link for the game. I'm going to post that on the forum. Keep talking.
Sure. Okay, so he had like a 2nd and 1, like around like my 30 or 28 or something, and he got like a 10-yard holding penalty that pushed him back. He had like another penalty, I think, that wiped out something good for him. He had the 4th and goal. He had a 4th and goal at my 1 in the middle of the 2nd quarter to tie the game, and it's a touchdown. He scores a touchdown, and Marcel Reese, and he gets a holding penalty. It's kick a field goal, 4th and goal from the 11, to make it 7-3. And then and then he had in the second half he had the penalty that pushed him kind of out of like field goal range, and then he missed a 2-9 field goal. So I think there was a couple of penalties and a missed field goal that really hurt him. Otherwise I think the game would have been tighter in the second half. Now it was a defensive game. It was like 13-3 and then like 16-6. But he could have had a couple more opportunities to get touchdowns, and as a matter of fact he would have had a touchdown if not for the penalties. So those penalties were really untimely and hurt him. I thought we both played a really good defensive game. Maybe we both could have done a little more offensively, but that was a tough, grueling game. And when he hit the bomb to Torrey Smith to get down to my 11 with like a minute left, I was like, oh Jesus, this is just like the Cincinnati game in the regular season, where I'm up 10. There's like 2 minutes left. The guy hits like a long pass right bomb, then he scores it like to get down to my 10, scores a touchdown, then recovers the onside kick. And sure enough, I don't know what's going on, but for some reason this year I've given up like 5 or 6 onside kicks in the last minute.
Here,
and
let's do a replay here. I don't know if this will work on the interview, but here is the replay of the final, the big play. Take us what you were calling on defense here.
To win the game?
Yes, here it is right here.
Okay, well this is the 1st and 10.
Yep. So this is after the must-run scramble.
Okay. No, all right. No, I was talking about the.
Yeah, but let's go through this.
I got you. 50. Oh, yes, right play. Okay. Well, he had no timeouts left. There's 15 seconds left. He's at my 33-yard line. I know that his kick was 2 to 6, 11 and 12, 33 to 37. But you have the variable yardage, so I know that he's dying to get at least like 2, 3, 4 yards. But if he has to, and I see your battery sign, if he has to, he can try the long field goal. But if he can get at least 2 or 3 or 4 yards, bang, 2-9 field goal, tie the game, go to overtime. Okay.
So here it is. Check it out. Big play. Double teaming the correct guy on a flat pass.
2, 3, 6, 11, 12 from 33 to 37. But you throw short or long, you're opening yourself up to the sack chance for Mario Williams and Sean Phillips.
So here it is.
Reese being double teamed. Linebacker staying home. That's an interception. Game over. The Jets, with the call of the game, picked off the pass, and barring a penalty, this one's over, folks, and it is. Nice.
I like that. That was awesome, Tom.
Yeah, I would have ran the ball.
Well, I was looking at all his guys, all his receivers and stuff, and what he might do. When you double team a lot and you double team a lot successfully, it gets to a point where the other guy's just trying to find someone to throw to that's not double teamed. So then, as a defensive guy, you start thinking, who is he gonna throw to? Thinking I'm not gonna double team that guy. And I felt it might be Marcel Reese. I felt, I'd done some blitzing with the outside linebacker. I thought he might throw a flat pass. And try to get something there. So I said, all right, I'll double team Reese. I thought he might throw a short pass because he can get the must run and get a couple yards that way. So I thought he might go that way, but like I just heard you say in the broadcast, then he's risking a sack, and he had some bad luck with the pass blocking in this game. So I can see.
I hate to second guess the call, but I would have definitely stayed blocking back and ran the ball there just to get into that better field goal range.
He had no timeouts left though.
Doesn't matter. He can spike the ball. So you run the ball with 15 seconds left, you spike it with a second left, and you do your field goal.
Well, the game is always going to give you that. The game is always going to give you that spike. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So he had a run spike option because it was first down, so he could run, spike the ball, and have a kick. Have a kick with a third down with 1 second left.
Okay. Well, you know that wide guy was a 6. If I did not double team the right guy, that would have been 7 yards, and he would have had his 2-9 field goal to tie the game.
Awesome. That's great.
I got lucky there.
So what are you thinking about the Jacksonville Jaguars here? No, one thing I say real quick. Jay pointed this out in an instant message to me, but he said Jeff did not lose it. Tom won it. You know, it was a huge call. And I agree with him there. That was not a game where you think, oh, yeah, maybe he should have ran it there. But that whole game, he called an excellent game, and I thought it could have gone either way. He actually played closer than I thought. I thought it was going to be a blowout for the Jets, but you had it read right. The matchups favored him on certain pass rushing matchups and the defense in general, and he played it nice and tight. Without that missed field goal or getting the touchdown call back, this could have been a very different game.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, I had no downfield passing game. I had one of the best offenses in the league, and I got Peyton Manning. But Manning came through with a lot of short pass rights and clutch spots, like the drive right before the half for the 50-yard field goal, 2-7. Yeah. You know, and like I was getting those flat passes to Owen Daniels like in the third quarter because I knew he was going to blitz or double with that outside linebacker 6. Because Lynch didn't really do much for me. I mean, I tried a few times to get him going, you know, and I could have ran more. But again, it's tough to run and runs because the linebackers are going to come up, you know.
You're going to have that same situation against Jay because he has a lot of, you know, everybody on his defense is a 5.
No, but they're totally. Yeah, look. I think Jay's a real good coach. Jay's a lot more experienced than Jeff, but Jeff coached a great game and had a great playoffs, and like you said, could easily at least tied this game, you know, or won the game, you know. But you know, Jay's defense, just as a team, a strat team. Forget about the coach for a minute. You know, he has no 6s anywhere on defense, and on my spreadsheets, throwing flats to linebackers 6s, throwing downfield to guys covered by 5s with a Peyton Manning and maybe a Max type of receiver, you know. I feel a lot more comfortable calling plays going into that game against Jay than I did against the Ravens. Now, I may go nickel 3-3-5 some, not nickel 3-5. I may go 3 wide some to open up the flats a little more because he does go 3-4, and I'm going to, you know, need Lynch to do some things so that he can't sit there and just pass all day on me. And his pass rush doesn't have any double-digit guys.
Right.
So, I think he may have one double-digit guy. Justin Tuck maybe, or Justin Tuck this game, I forget. But his pass rush is not quite as strong as the Ravens, not nearly as strong as the Ravens. So I just from a play calling standpoint, I feel much more comfortable calling plays against Jay's defense just on the personnel than I did tonight. I mean, you know, today rather. On the other side of the ball, I just got to hope my right corner 6 does not get injured so that he can cover Josh Gordon. And then
you guys heard it right here. Tom says Jags have no shot.
I did not say that.
Dominate them. Their defense stinks. No 6, no rings. That's the bulletin board material right now in the Jaguars.
I did not say that. I said I feel more comfortable. I feel like it's going to be an easier time calling plays against that defense because I don't have so many plays that I feel like are just taken away from me, you know, or where there aren't good options. There are a lot more options for good plays there. Now, on the other side of the ball, I think what really helps, I think one of the keys to the Super Bowl is going to be that I'm not calling the game. Because I've called like 6 Adrian Peterson games like the last 5 or 6 weeks in various leagues. Every game I call an Adrian Peterson game, he runs for like a 65, 70-yard touchdown, including with Jay in these playoffs. So I'm not calling the game. So maybe AP will not be able to get his 75-yard touchdown that he always gets when I call the game.
Yeah, Jay needs Peterson to get one of those big runs again, or 1 or 2 of those big runs again. And you need to be able to get Lynch going a little bit better than you did in this game. Although, like you said, you have a lot more options on offense with the flat passes and the white die 6 rule against, you know, no 6s to worry about. But Jay, like you said, Jay's a very good coach. He'll flood those flats. He runs a 3-4. So you know, you're going to need to go downfield some, mix up the runs.
I like going downfield.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a great game.
I like going downfield. There's no 6s in the secondary, and the guy doesn't have a dominating pass rush like Jeff did against me. Because, you know, those 6s is like it's hard to go deep. It's hard to go deep against a corner 6. Even with no man in zone, I gave him a lot of long pass no mens to Torrey Smith. You know, he finally got one in the last 90 seconds. But the math, wasn't that worried about it. You know, especially now, of course, especially with the good pass defense cards, which neither nor I will have at the Super Bowl. But I might throw some 3 wide at him, a little Nathan Baylor style. You know, open up the flats a little bit. You know, Lynch is pretty good guess right. You know, on the other side of the ball, I think his ability to get dump offs is going to be key. You know, is going to be key for him because we know Glennon. Oh, looks like Dennis's computer died. He's not here anymore, so I don't know if this broadcast is still going. It says we're live, as I am monologuing, like they said in The Incredibles. But on the other, when Jay has the ball on offense with the rookie Glennon, I think that when he gets into some passing situations and he's throwing short pass, and I'm guessing pass correctly, he's got very good pass blocking, and if you can turn that into some 10, 13, 20-yard dump offs, and get something going that way when he has to pass, I think that'll be very helpful for him with the rookie Glennon. Let me mute my mic and see what we're pretty much done here anyway, and just check with Dennis and see what I should do. I'll be right back momentarily. I just sent Dennis a text. Since he was hosting, I'm not sure if I close this, what happens. I assume I have control now, and then I'll be able to post this, but you never know. Dennis did the fancy video replay of the last play of the game, which was pretty cool that he could do a replay of that. That was a very tough game. That was a very defensive-minded game. It's unusual in the modern leagues with the white dice 6 and the dump off when you get one of the defensive type of games, especially when people look at my team at Manning and Lynch and go, "Oh my God, he's got a great offense." Blah 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 blah. But I'm telling you though, those linebacker 6s are powerful. And here's Dennis Crowley. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, Tom. You still there?
Yes, I am still here.
Okay, good. I finally got my computer plugged in. So, So, where were you at? I mean,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we had talked a little bit about the matchup with the Jaguars. So, yeah. I don't know if you want to continue on that. What are you most worried about aside from Adrian Peterson? Is it Josh Gordon guessed wrong?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a receiver, who's got a tremendous, deep threat card, and Josh Gordon's got like 7 long gain units on short pass wrong, you got to worry about that. You have to just acknowledge. Listen, this guy might get at least 1, if not 2, really big plays in the game. But I guess Jay knows. I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like I'm probably more concerned about dump offs. I'm more concerned that maybe I'll have a good first and second down call. We'll get into 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. Jay's got real good pass blocking. The rookie Glennon is at quarterback, and maybe maybe you can hit some dump offs for 10, 13, 20 yards and get first downs and get something going in the passing game that way. I'm a lot more confident that my team will score some points. Like even this game, I was like, there's a chance I might not get to 20 points, and I didn't. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I had the 2nd highest scoring team in the league. I got Peyton Manning. And Marshawn Lynch, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, how do you stop this team?" I've scored 29 points in my 2 playoff games. I'm in the Super Bowl.
But look at your defense. You've allowed something crazy, 16 total points, 3 and 13.
Well, yeah. If you didn't get that goddamn long gain to Torrey Smith, I was hoping to come to the Super Bowl not having a lot of touchdowns. That'd been pretty awesome. But we're
not worried about stats, though. Remember, stats are for losers.
Stats are for losers, right? Okay.
It's all about the W's.
Yeah, I like stats there also. But in the playoffs, certainly I don't care about the stats. I'll tell you that much. I like having nice regular season stats to look at. But in the playoffs, I don't care about the stats. Although it's nice that there's a league file and you can look at the stats. So since I've called all these games, I have all the stats on my computer. That's kind of nice. But I feel like
Jacksonville's gone. Just to go through their playoff success, they've won 3 games. They've beaten St. Louis, Green Bay, and Seattle. So 3 tough games. Seattle being the close one. We all know how that wound up, so we won't go too deep in that one. But they've been scoring points. I mean, the point is you've only allowed 16 total. They haven't scored lower than 24 in any game. So their offense is humming right now.
I suppose. I mean, you got the big turnovers against you to get 10 points. I know you just said we're going to go over that, but in the last 4 minutes. So, I mean, you might only score like 20, 24 in that game. I don't think my defense is going to play as well against him as it did in the first 2 rounds unless I'm able to totally shut down Adrian Peterson. And look, it's not like you're playing with like a team from the late 60s or early 70s who has an awful quarterback card and like a great running back, and you can sit there, the Bears or somebody, and you can sit there and just run every play, and you're not going to get hurt. I mean, any modern quarterback who's not awful, is going to have a pretty good guess wrong card and good receivers and white die 6. So you can't just sit there and like guess run every play, and I'm certainly not going to do that. You got to mix it up like you usually have to. But I feel like my defense matched up real well with Oakland and with Baltimore. With Jacksonville, I feel like I have a pretty good matchup, but I don't feel like I'm gonna. I knew that. I felt like in those first 2 games, I definitely had a chance to really shut those guys down. I'm not always going to do it because the rule set favors the offense, and it takes only one big play or something like that. So I don't think I'm going to shut Jacksonville down. But I think I feel pretty confident that I can prevent him from really going off. I think I'll hold him under 24 points. I think I can do that. And on the other side of the ball, I feel liberated. Nothing against Jay. Jay's a really good coach, and he's a defensive-minded guy. But I mean, Oakland was giving up 14 points a game, you know, and then Jay's got 2/3 of his linebackers are 6s, and he's got 2 6s in the secondary. So so just from a play calling standpoint, I feel like I can throw a pass to almost anybody again.
Right.
I mean, I was resorting to flat passes to Owen Daniels covered by 6 to try to get the ball going against Baltimore there. So
here, let's take a look at another key play from today's game. This is the 4th.
I love that you're doing this.
This is the 4th and 1 play when you were leading 7-0, and let's see what happens. The call is a 4th and 1 up the middle run to Marcel Reese.
So there we see Reese got the handoff and got to the end zone for a touchdown. But lo and behold, there was a penalty. Holding on the offense brought it back 10 yards. And that was late in the second quarter. It looks like about 6 minutes to go.
No, 1 minute to go. That was 1 minute, 22 seconds to go.
Oh, wow.
So you got the ball back and you were able to still get in field goal range. But that was a huge play, nice stop. Your offensive lineman. Your defensive lineman had pointed out to the ref before the game, watch for this. This guy's pulling me down every play, and sure enough, the ref saw it. So there you go.
You know what defensive lineman that had to be, right? Based upon his performance in this game. You know what defensive lineman had to be?
Yes, I would say that was Mario Williams who was going off.
Paul Soliai.
Oh, Paul Soliai was getting held on the play.
Well, remember, like in the first few minutes of the game, he kept getting defensive tackle like -1 or +9, or defensive tackle +2. And Paul Soliai made like 3 tackles that way. Nice.
So there you go.
It was a really tough game. And then let's say this, and not just paying lip service to the guy that you just played. It was only like about 18 months ago, or maybe not even, that Jeff was not an experienced online strat coach. And I remember having an extensive conversation with him after the game. He was talking about, what am I doing wrong? How can I get advice, especially on defense, blah, 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 blah. And he told me to do the same thing with you, and then here he is coaching a great game, not a great team by any stretch of the imagination, and almost making the Super Bowl against an experienced coach who had, most people would say, a much better team on paper. So, I mean, for the guys out there who are newer to the game or newer online, maybe Stanley or whoever, I mean, it's, you can get there in a hurry, and Jeff coached a great game, and he coached a real good game the last time around. Who did he beat to get here again?
Hold on, I'll pull it up right
St.
here.
Louis?
So he took
St.
care
Louis.
he took care of the
Cincinnati and
Atlanta, not St. Louis. So
yeah,
Cincinnati,
Atlanta, then Cincinnati.
Yes. So
that was a close game, a crazy inning against Cincinnati.
yes,
And that was a tough one for Butch, I think. Yeah, but again, the defense, he did a really good job on defense and knew how to play with this defense. So so Jeff did a great job, and I think he should be proud of himself.
absolutely.
You know, because he was right. I mean, come on, there was toe to toe. I mean, if he didn't have the penalty, if he didn't have the penalties and the missed field goal,
yes,
would have been tired. He would have been leading.
Speaking of that, let's go through this other key series. Here it is, third quarter, 6 minutes to go, 3rd and 3. The Ravens are at the Jets 25. Let's take a look.
This is the first down. This is the penalty. This was that penalty sequence where there was like 2 penalties on me and 2 penalties on him.
Right.
But
so he had gotten a roughing, and to get him into field goal range, and then a hold and an offensive pass interference to move it back.
Yep. Yeah. And he got the worst end of those penalties because I think he made the first bad penalty. I think.
Right.
You know, and I don't think the personal foul was on like a 3rd and long or anything, or it would have been a punt. You know, it's just like he just moved it 15 yards, which of course I wasn't happy about. But overall, the breaks favored me. You know, he had offensive penalties in very poor spots. I know Ed's talked about that in terms of, you know, sometimes if you are able to make a guy go the length of the field, sooner or later you're going to get a penalty or a sack or a turnover, and the offense is going to kind of, you know, shoot itself in the foot. And I didn't think about the penalty aspect of it too much before the game. And I told you, I am Dennis before the game and said, listen, I'm planning on standing around the defense a lot, making him try to exhaust his carries. I'm going to try and run the ball a lot, just to let him know what was going through the coach's head as he was calling the game. Yeah. But as the game progressed, I felt like my strategy was working. I was just standing there. I was pretty much just sitting there.
This is a little bit of foreshadowing here, because so he got the penalty. He picked up the first down, got a call back for a penalty, and then 3rd and 13. Look what play he calls.
What does he do here? I forget. I can't blow this up on my screen. What did you do?
That's all right. You will see it on the replay. But here he goes, 3rd and 13. Needs to get a few yards to get into field goal range. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
And he throws a flat pass to Reese, which you correctly double-teamed.
Wow. And there was a penalty on me.
Yes.
Stupid penalties.
But interesting, yeah. So the penalty moved it up, and then another penalty moved it back, and he finally wound up getting the field goal. But is this where he missed the field goal, though? Yes. Yeah, because I don't think the game was 13-3. I've had some bad luck. Dan Bailey, like all season, kept missing a field goal from like the 23 to 32, even though he's 2-10. Right. Actually, in playoff games, all my kickers, all my kickers, for some reason, in this set, since this card set came out, that thankfully will soon be behind us. Like my kickers just love missing a 23 to 32 field goal in a playoff game. Usually, like early in the second quarter, where it's not like supposed to kill you. But I'm just like, why can't these guys just make the kick they're supposed to make? Yeah. But this time, it really hurt him. It really hurt my opponent. He missed a very makeable field goal, 2-9. But go ahead. Right. So he gets first and 10 at the 20. Offensive pass interference pushes it back to 1st and 20. The first and 10, that was after the personal foul, right? Yeah, after personal foul, he got 1st and 10 at the 20. Then it's 1st and 20 at the 30 after an offensive penalty, and then the rest of this drive, you know, he doesn't get any. He's never able to overcome that. He runs, goes nowhere. On second, throws an incomplete pass. 2nd and 20, goes nowhere for 2 yards. 3rd and 18, he tries to throw, I think, a short to Amendola or something, and he settles for a field goal. This is where he settles for a field goal try, I should say. So here's the 3rd down play.
This is the flat pass?
No, so he does a crossing punter to Amendola, and you had pulled the extra DB back.
Yes. You got a lot of interception splits this game.
So if that was, not that it would have made a difference, but maybe it would have. If you had the average pass defense card, that would have been plus 12.
But it might have played it differently.
Right.
I knew.
Right. You would. Yeah.
Like good.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely. So then this is where he misses the field goal. So this would have been 13-6.
Yeah, and that was huge. When he missed that field goal, I was like, whoa. I was like, awesome. It was just, there was a bunch of like little breaks, and I guess, I mean, look, getting the touchdown call back from the 1 yard line and 4th and goal, I guess you would say that's a really big break. So maybe I'm underselling them, but when he missed that field goal, that was the first time I was like, wow, I think I'm in really good shape now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You had the 2-score lead, and he was able to cut it again. Several times he got into the red zone, and he couldn't get that touchdown. I don't know about several times, but each time he did, he either had a field goal, he had the touchdown call back, settled for a field goal. He had a first down inside the red zone, and he had got a call back or a penalty, made it again settle for a field goal because he couldn't overcome that first and long. And then on the end game, he had to settle for a field goal instead of getting a touchdown. So all those things add up little by little.
Yeah, and it seemed like when he was able to drive, and now before that bomb to Torrey Smith, which was a 45-yard bomb, I mean, he had barely 200 yards offense. He ended up outgaining me for the game, 279 to 241. But I mean, it was really a defensive battle. Somehow we each had 18 first downs, but he spent when he was able to move the ball and when he was in scoring range, he just seemed to spend a lot of time between like my 35 and my 25.
Yeah.
He had a hard time. My defense just played a lot better there, and the penalties again. I had more penalties than yardage, but the timeliness of it was what killed him. I think. I was minus 15 penalty yards, but the timeliness was much really hurt him. I mean, called back a touchdown, hurt him like a second one for like midfield or something like that. And was I minus 2? I was minus 1 in turnovers. That's odd. I thought I picked off. No, I got it wrong. Okay, no, I was plus 1 in turnovers. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got 2 interceptions, and he had the one.
Newton was 17 of 41 for 212.
Yeah.
Forster, and I felt like his running game could have done a little better. Forster had 12 carries for 39 yards. I don't even know if any of those were guessed correctly.
Yeah. No, he was running on against your 5s a lot, so he didn't get a lot of good runs, and he didn't hit his short gains even when he was hitting his card.
Yeah, he would get like his big run. He got like a 6-yard run. that would be like a good run for his team. And I did have my left outside linebacker 5 in there to help that 4 a little bit, which helped. But he could have done a little better at the running game. So I think the breaks definitely went my way. At least a little bit, and then at the end they almost went completely against me, but boy, I was when you're up 10 with like 2 minutes to go,
you feel good.
You've been shutting the guy down the whole game.
Yeah, you feel good.
And you're not facing 84 Marino, nothing against Cam Newton, but hello,
Yeah.
You feel like I'm going to win this game. He has to score, and he has to get the onside kick, and he has to score in a hurry. And he did score in a hurry, and he got the onside kick. I was like, oh no, because I felt like, I felt like, obviously, anytime you get close, you want to make the Super Bowl. We all know that,
Yes.
So that's not exactly breaking news or anything like that. But I feel like, I won the Super Bowl in this league 3 years ago. Everyone knows I have a really good offense with Manning and Lynch, and I have a good team. And I'm doing all these hangout shows and, waxing, prolific as if I'm some kind of expert in strat football. Okay. So to have a chance to make another Super Bowl and to have a chance to maybe win 2 in 4 years and be the first guy to win 2 in SSFA, I feel like that would mean a lot to me, so to almost lose it on the onside kick, I was like, I was like, I was concerned about this game, but there was no way that if I lost this game, I was going to feel like okay with it,
Right. And we will have a 2-time champion because you and Jay have both won before.
That's right.
So that's guaranteed. And for all your wind about who has the better predictions, I'll just point out that I correctly predicted the Battle Royale winner, and I am on the verge of correctly predicting the SSFA winner, as well as yourself. You did pick yourself as well, which I thought was a good move. But it's looking good. I think Jay has a very good shot, but it's you're certainly to be commended. You did a good job. And I have to wrap this up. I got to get some things going. Do you want me to leave it on for you to pontificate, and then you just shut it down, or should I go ahead and shut it down?
Well, if you leave it on for me to pontificate, can I shut it down, and then
Yes.
I have control of that? That way it works that way?
Yes, it should. And then you can just text me afterward, and I'll double check.
Right. Can I point out one thing for you that takes 2 minutes first?
Okay, absolutely. Hit it.
Now, Jay may or may not remember this. I bet he does, because this is what resulted in his championship. 2007 season SSFA. I built my SSFA team from scratch. right? I drafted them in the original draft in 2006.
Yes.
Marion Barber III was my first pick. I had a real good team the second year. I went 12-4. Jay went 10-6. Okay, I was home. I had a really good running game, real good defense, good offensive line, good receivers. David Gerard, decent quarterback card, and my team did real well during the season. Everyone liked my team. Jay beat me in the playoffs, 20-12, and that game bothered me. This is 7 years ago. That game bothered me. That game bothered me. It stuck in my craw. And Jay went on to win the Super Bowl. That game bothered me. It bothered me for a long time. I don't know if Jay still remembers it. And I remember a little bit. The box score is here on the SSFA website. And so my team is trying to, play for pride here and overcome that crushing defeat that I had 7 years ago to Jay. But anyway, we'll see what happens. And I think we'll close it down now. And
okay, hold on one second. Let me.
I'll talk a little more. You can log off when you're ready, and I'll talk a little.
Okay, hold on. Let me just pull this up real quick. And
2007. There it is. I was just looking at it.
Where's the box score at?
Standings. Go to 2007 standings, then go to playoffs.
Okay. This is the memory of the man, the machine, Tom Cooke. Don't ever cross him. He will never forget. So
no, that's not
true.
I even scored a touchdown in the last minute of the game. Jesus, I was losing 20-6.
So there's the box score right there. I am sharing my screen, right? You can see that? Yes. Yes, so there it is. Matt Hasselbeck, the mighty Matt Hasselbeck, took care of the mighty David Gerard.
Yeah, with an 8 of 19 performance.
Adrian Peterson was involved in that game. How come he only ran the ball 9 times?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe he got hurt.
Oh, he must have got hurt, yeah. So
Najee Davenport.
Najee Davenport, Kenny Watson. I remember that Kenny Watson card, Redskins guy. So
I do not remember the Kenny Watson card. I do remember Najee Davenport, though. But good.
We'll see if Peterson repeats his fake injury in the championship game and goes out.
We don't want that. Nobody wants
leaving Jay high and dry.
Nobody wants to see a key injury in the Super Bowl.
But he was able to overcome it. So that's
go out through 2 interceptions. Marshawn Lynch was still in that game. I still have a fair number of guys on my team from the original draft.
It's incredible.
I got Marshawn Lynch, Larry Fitzgerald, Owen Daniels, Mario Williams.
And look at that first quarter, 54-yard run by Adrian Peterson for a touchdown. Oh. Is that foreshadowing? Does he want another shot at a big dig against the Jets? We'll find out.
No Joe Nedney though. Joe Nedney's got retired, I think, from football. So
yes.
Robbie Cole was my kicker. I just got rid of him 2 years ago. I traded him after I drafted Dan Bailey during the draft. I had him for a long time.
Larry Fitzgerald was in the game, featured prominently.
Absolutely.
3 for 98.
Beast Mode was still on his backup Buffalo card for me. Marion Barber III was the lead back, but
Kelly Gregg was the anchor of your defense as a 5-nose tackle. Kerry Rhodes, a 6-strong safety.
Picked him up from Nathan in a trade.
Nice.
DJ Williams was the original draft pick for me. Derek Johnson was an original draft pick for me, who I traded to Baltimore, and I had to play him today.
Wow. Interesting.
Believe it or not, I think Rocky McIntosh is still on my team as a backup linebacker, but I'm not positive. but not for long.
Just to let you know, you can cut guys once they're zeros and old. Feel free.
Oh, believe me, I don't have a problem getting rid of players. You know that.
All right. Well, we'll shut it down here then. Congratulations
yes,
again, Tom. Well done, and good luck in this Super Bowl.
All right. Me and Jay, I'm not sure when we'll play. I'll talk to him. All right, Dennis.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.